Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I'm Jennifer Etherton, the founder of Moonlight Mobile Notary in Fishers, Indiana. In my last video, we continued my estate planning series by discussing the first of two videos on powers of attorney, by explaining what they are and the different pros and cons of implementing a power of attorney. In this video, we are going to explain the best way to implement them and some tips and tricks on convincing aging parents of their value. If you missed the first video on powers of attorney, I will leave a link in the description below so you can go back and watch it before this one. Just as a recap, a power of attorney is a legal document giving one person, better known as the agent or attorney in fact, the power to act for another person, better known as the principal. There are several different types of power of attorney, and choosing the right one is vital to have a successful estate plan. The best course of action when it comes to estate planning is to speak with legal counsel. This way you will ensure you have chosen the best option for your situation. Just as a quick reminder, as with my entire estate planning series, I am focusing on the United States. Each country has their own laws and regulations surrounding estate planning, and it is always best to familiarize yourself before taking this journey. It's one thing to discuss the benefits and risk of implementing one or more powers of attorney, but how do you start the process? All the information in the world is worthless if it can't be implemented. In my last video, I discussed the first step on the road to implementing a power of attorney, and that is finding the right people to be your agents. This is the first and most important step because the person or persons you choose will have a lot of power to act on your behalf. You need to ensure they are both trustworthy and responsible. The agent or agents you choose need to have both qualities to be successful, as well as having the willingness to take on the responsibility. You can have anyone as your agent or agents, since it's best to have one agent for your financial affairs and one for your medical decisions. I went into great detail outlining the tips and tricks to finding the right combination of skills in my last video, so I won't bore you by going back over this information. Once you have chosen your agent, it's now time to put everything in writing. Remember, most states don't recognize verbal agreements, so put everything on paper. There are two ways to do this. The first and cheapest is to go online and find a form. These are usually free or very low cost, but can be a bit of a minefield. You need to make sure you have one geared specifically for your state. Just like everything else, each state will have its own set of requirements, including how the power of attorney is worded. In Indiana, the regulations are pretty lax, but there are still certain paragraphs and verbiage that has to be present. If you know exactly what you need, this is not a bad option. However, if you are unsure, the best way to go is to find an attorney that specializes in family law. He or she will be able to build a power of attorney that is customized to your needs and will contain the language necessary to be recognized in your state. In your power of attorney, you or your attorney will need to specify the proper format, the powers you are wishing to delegate, identify your agent or agents depending on how many you want to implement. On top of this, you will need to specify the durability of the power of attorney. Will this power of attorney revoke when you become incapacitated, or will it stay in effect? If you are using an attorney, he or she will be able to guide you through the process. If you are doing this on your own, take this step seriously. If you make the wrong decision, it can come back to bite you at the most inopportune time. Once you have your powers of attorney, it's time to sign it. In some states, such as Indiana, a power of attorney needs to be notarized. Many law offices have notaries on staff, but if they don't, or if you have opted for the online form, you will need to search out an independent source. You can attempt to go to your bank or a shipping store, but if you are unsuccessful, you can reach out to an independent notary. These are a little harder to find, but a quick Google search will give you a list of notaries available in your area. If you are in the northern Indianapolis metro area, you can just call me. No matter what route you choose, do not sign the power of attorney until you are in front of a notary. Now that you have signed your powers of attorney, what do you do with the documents? In some states, you are required to record it with the county. Your estate planner or attorney will either do this for you or will give you instructions on how to record these documents. Whether your state requires powers of attorney to be recorded or not, if there is an option to do so, it would be best for a government entity to know it exists. It's just an extra layer of protection. Again, each state is different, so a little research goes a long way. In addition, some states require specific powers of attorney to be filed with the courts. Filing documents and recording them can be two completely different things, depending on your state. Be careful that you have chosen the correct option. The main types of power of attorney that will need to be filed with the county or the courts deal with real estate and child custody. This is where having an attorney to help you navigate these regulations will show their true worth. Once you have your powers of attorney drawn up, signed, notarized, and filed or recorded with the courts, now what? It is always recommended to have a copy kept in a location that is easy to access. My personal recommendation is to have several copies, one that you keep, and then a copy with each of your agents. This way, if your documents are needed quickly, no one is searching for them. It's also a good idea to keep a copy with your attorney. Again, this is just my opinion, but a good safeguard. One more piece of advice with powers of attorney or any piece of your estate plan is to revisit it ever so often to make sure it is up to date. People will come in and out of your life, and it's important that your powers of attorney name the correct agent. Just like everything else in life, keep your estate plan as current as humanly possible. Over the past several videos, we have discussed the different aspects of estate planning and how important it is to protect yourself and your family. I hope I have convinced you to take this information under advisement and select the right combination of products that work best for your situation. Say I have convinced you of the benefits of a power of attorney, but you need help convincing an aging parent or other family member. What do you say to them when they are digging in their heels and refusing to budge? Every person is different and you know them best, but here are some arguments you can use to further your cause. The first thing to try is to appeal to his or her sense of duty. I have found that most older people have a sense of responsibility when it comes to their close family. While this is a wonderful thing, it can sometimes blind them when it comes to taking care of themselves. Let him or her know the risks that come from not having a power of attorney in place before they get seriously ill and can no longer take care of their own affairs. In this case, a bit of tough love may be needed. Never be cruel or have ill intentions, but a strong argument will sometimes do the trick. Outline the areas of their life that will suffer if a power of attorney is not in place and there is no way for someone else to take care of their financial matters or to make medical decisions on their behalf. Nothing will be settled overnight, but once you have the broader conversation, start small. Start with a special power of attorney to take something off their plate, whether it's dealing with their financial advisor regarding their retirement and portfolios, or talking to the utility companies and saving them from an endless automated system. These are just some examples, but a good way to show the benefits of a power of attorney without the older individual thinking they are losing their independence. While the older individual will feel the benefits of a special power of attorney, also explain that safeguards can be put in place to ensure their agent will have a checks and balances. Have a clause put into the power of attorney that the agent will need to report to an independent third party regarding his or her actions. This will also go a long way to giving peace of mind to your parents or any older members of the family. One of the best ways to convince anyone of something is to lead by example. If you have your own power of attorney drawn up, ask them to join you throughout the process. This will in effect kill two birds with one stone. You will protect yourself and your family while your parents will do the same. They will have you for support and will see that they are not alone during this process. If this doesn't work, then appeal to professionals they trust, whether it is a family attorney, accountant, or doctor. enlist their help to convince your parents to protect themselves and explain the risk of not drawing up a plan. I know I have hit you with a lot of information between this video and the last one. Powers of attorney are an important piece of a successful estate plan and one that shouldn't be overlooked. They can be the saving grace when a family member is no longer able to take care of his or her own affairs and should be implemented as soon as possible. In my business, I generally see powers of attorney implemented about 15 years too late, but better late than never. Powers of attorney can offer peace of mind to not only the principal, but to the rest of the family. If you found this video informative and would like to see more videos on estate planning, real estate, the notary world, or just adulting in general, hit the subscribe button and don't forget the notification bell. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Next time we are going to step away from the estate planning series and focus more on the notary world by discussing what you need to do if you need a notary in a hospital. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you on Sunday.